Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with the last 5 episodes of Power. After today, of course, 4 more episodes. I personally am ready for this to be done. I actually don't know if I'm going to review this next, I guess, chapter in the saga, which is going to be a prequel to the Power that we see now, I believe. You know, I don't know. I need to see the first episode of that chapter 2 stuff, and then I'll know. As of right now, it's not looking good. So let's get into this episode. I think this is episode 11 that we are looking at today, and it is entitled Still Dre, which, I mean, what does that even really mean? Really? And it's kind of set a few days, a few hours, a few weeks, who knows, before Ghost is actually shot. You guys know what I do best is I like to dig a little deep and go into the details and just kind of hash it all out with you guys on video and in the comments. It's very difficult for me to do that, to go into details uh, with this episode because, I mean, it's just there are no details. There are no details. There are these web of insinuations and assumptions that we must make in order to feel as though this whole storyline, the whole movement of all the characters are feasible and logical. We must again weave together all of the assumptions and you know, we have to make it work. We have to make it work in order for it to even remotely slightly make sense for ourselves. So I struggle with this episode. It opens with Dre sitting holding his baby, his little girl Heavenly, and he's singing a little song, about all the little children, and I don't know. It was something. It was weird. It was odd. It did have religious overtones, I guess, which is gonna make a little bit sense later on when we get to actually meet Dre's mom. But his girlfriend is there. I don't know anything about the chick. I have zero investment in this character. Last time I saw her, I think that was her. Dre was putting it, her and Dre was getting it in, putting it down when somebody broke in and tried to shoot up the place. And so we don't have any investment in this girl at all. Apparently, this is Heavenly's mom, and she is, I guess, of British descent, which means she's probably African in some sort of way, or Caribbean in some sort of way. But her family hails from London. The stupid comment about you need to take the bins out, and I'm telling you, baby, don't nobody in America say bins. So you had to say take the trash can out. Like, what does that? I guess that was to let us know she was from London. Her accent is from London. Where's she been? She been in London? Why the people been holding your baby if she got a whole mama over here? But y'all know we can't pick at no scabs. Y'all already know that if we pick at the scabs, it's gonna start to bleed, and then it's gonna be hard to stop. And y'all know this is the story. So, she wants to move. He thinks she wants to go back to London. He's not going back to London. She's saying no, we can go. and stay with my sister in Vegas. She's got a beautiful home there, large enough, and we can go there and get started. And he doesn't agree with that. And she tells him she's done with this lifestyle, and if he doesn't want to go, she'll go and she'll take Heavenly. And basically he stands up on her. He stands up on her, and this is what we're going to see throughout this entire episode. The next 59 minutes basically is about why we really really hate Dre, and um why he should really have been dead a long time ago. But the way that the writers are trying to push him to us is that he's his loving, doting father, but he has this bad side. He had a rough childhood, but he's this is what caused his bad side. Like, we're supposed to feel some empathy and some sympathy for Dre, while at the same time simultaneously hating him. I felt nothing for Dre. First of all, I was so sick of it. Like, I was so sick of him just completely slipping out from under every opportunity for someone to finally turn the lights on this guy. I mean, it was excruciating. But stands up on her and just tells her, ain't nobody taking my baby nowhere. You can't care for your child. You're running the streets. You can't take care of a baby. You're running around blowing people's heads open with the baby in your arm. The baby get covered in blood spatter regularly. If you love the little girl, why wouldn't you let her go with her mama? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. All of this for his daughter, and he makes one dumb decision after another this whole episode. Let's move forward. She convinces him, this is what we need to do. And he's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is, I'll think about something he said. I don't know. And ended up going back over to his spot where his premieres are. He's got a new guy there that evidently he's a bad guy, but he's got a camouflage coat on, so I assumed he didn't come from jail. I assumed he came from being in the service. Seemed like to me. But apparently he's a bit of a rebel, and he's down for the gritty stuff. Of course, they want to know, his premieres want to know, you had all this big talk about all this money that's going to be flowing and all these drugs that's going to be flowing and all this stuff that how we going to come up and everything. Where's the loot? Like, where's the drugs? Like, where is the weight? We need to get pushing. Like, and he tells them he's not dealing with the Serbians anymore. Now, of course, he doesn't tell them why, which is he can't deal with the Serbians anymore because he came up on old boy's body dead as a doorknob, and people think he did it. At the same time, the guys, the Serbs come busting in. Of course, they there for revenge. And unlike most Serbians, first of all, I don't know if, I'm correctly informed on what the Serbians do, but from everything I have ever seen, Taken, Die Hard, I don't even know if they were Serbians, but seems reasonable. The Serbians are a brutal, brutal, brutal foe. They would have been at Dre's house. They would have took the girl and the baby. I mean, they blow things up. They shoot up whole restaurants and storefronts and funerals and weddings. Like, they are a brutal, brutal foe. So they come in and they've got guns cocked. They don't even shoot. Like, I didn't even understand that. They should have all been smoked right there. But they let them know, listen, we just here for Dre. Let us get Dre. Y'all going on about your business. And Dre was like, don't believe them. Don't believe them. They here to kill all of us. And his friend gets happy with it. And like I said, he a rebel. He just like YOLO. You only live once. And kamikaze. And he starts shooting. He killed one of them. And that just starts a shootout. All Dre men get killed except for him and his army buddy. And they shooting out, shooting out, shooting out. The guy's a pretty good shot. They approached from the rear with somebody with a semi-automatic, and I think he had gotten hit, his friend, and so he had like the back of his coat trying to help him out. And so when the guy approached him from the back, with the automatic weapon, he puts his army buddy in front of him. Dre does, and the guy gets like filled with lead, just throws his body to the side and starts shooting at the guy, and the guy catches him in the shoulder and the arm. He really looked like he was grazed, you know. He didn't have an actual bullet in the arm. Leaves out of there, runs out of there, everybody's dead. He runs back to the apartment. Like, okay. Where the girlfriend takes her time and puts him together. No, there are Serbians on the fire escape. They're on the roof. They're at the foot of the stairs. You know what I'm saying? They're in the closet. This is how Serbians work, right? Like, am I dumb or what? And Jason was a huge, huge, huge drug kingpin. It just seems weird, you know. So she passes him up and she just tells him this is the thing. I don't want to do this. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. And he's like, fine. And she's like, what are we gonna do? You want to go now? That's fine, but we don't have money. And he was like, I'll figure something out. You just get packed. That's what she does. She gets packed. He goes to see Tasha. He tries to shake Tasha down for the money. And Tasha's like, excuse me. If you look around here in the middle of the daylight like it is, there are no children. And that is because the feds raided me. And he's like, that's my business. How? That's my problem. How? Now, he did give the son, oh, I can't think of his name, Tariq. He did give Tariq a brick, and the brick I thought was supposed to yield $50,000. So this what he want. I want the money that he promised me for the brick, that he was supposed to give me for the brick. And you know, he like, if you don't get him on the phone, get your son on the phone. Tariq is very resourceful. He need to make it happen, and she does. He goes on about his business. Let me see. Next, we see where Tariq meet up with him to get him the money. And he gave him a portion of the money, 25,000, I think, and he was going to give him the rest later on that evening. But he wanted some help. He wanted an unmarked gun. And Dre was like, why would I do that? Why would I do anything for you? And he was like, I need this. I got to take care of something. I got somebody on me. First, Tariq didn't want to tell him, but Dre insisted. Dre was like, fine, I'll do for you, you do for me. I want you to get me in to see your daddy, which he does. Now, like I said, we saw snippets of Dre when Tariq walked in with Dre. So we saw that in episode 10. So like I said, these are the in-between places that we didn't see in 10. Why would Tariq bring Dre over to see to his daddy's place, knowing that he's like a sworn enemy of his father's? Well, one, because Tariq is a jerk, and two, because he had this deal going with Dre. You know, he worked with anybody against his daddy, so it could have been the mailman. If his mailman had out against his daddy, he'd have walked in there with him. And so that's when we see the exchange between Dre and Ghost, where Ghost is just so insulting and so demeaning, and tells him he's gonna get his little funky cash and meet him in a public place and woo, and Dre believes it. He's supposed to be so savvy. You not only worked under Ghost, but also you've had several dealings with Ghost where you have been more than betrayed. Why would you believe he set you up on the rooftop for Jason's murder? Why would you believe he would meet you somewhere? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, he goes and talks to the place where he's supposed to meet. Let me see, what else did he do? When he got shot, And he said, I'll find the money. I'll get the money from somewhere. The girlfriend told him, you need to go see this one person, which I thought it was Ghost, but it turned out to be his mama. So he done went up to the church. Mama coming out the back way. He stopped her. She was so scared. Take my money, take anything. He was like, no, mama. Mama, it's me, mama. Mama, don't you know me, mama? I was like, what the hell is going on here? Well, evidently she ain't heard hiding the hair of him. He been out even when he got locked up and he got let out. He didn't say a word to her. Now you here, you want some money. I ain't got nothing for you. So he leaves and goes on and he's begging from pillar to post. He goes to see, let me see, where was he? I forget where he was when he saw that that Ghost was gonna be running for lieutenant governor. He goes and sees Stacks and wants Stacks to explain this to him. Why are you running around like people owe you something? Stacks held your baby. You turned Stacks into his superiors. You're the reason why he got fired. Okay? Termed out. Okay? He held your baby captive. He ain't got no way whatsoever to help you. You need to cut your losses with Stacks because Stacks got you in deep with him. Okay? And it's this moment of indignant conversation like, you need to fix this and you need to what difference does it make? What difference does it make? It makes no difference. What Stacks can or cannot do is irrelevant. Why are we still talking with Stacks, right? So, he leaves there. He goes to meet supposedly Ghost in the square, and the police show up and arrest him. We saw that in episode 10 as well. And they take him to jail. Well, you know that Two-Bit and Turtle is in jail. So somebody come by and pass a phone to Two-Bit and Turtle, and it's Ghost on the phone, and he want them to get rid of Dre because he done had Dre arrested. Now Dre looks over and sees when he's getting arrested, he sees Ghost's truck, because you know Ghost is a broad daylight type individual. He nobody sees him in broad daylight except Dre. So their assignment is to kill Dre in jail, and then it's immediate. You know, Dre gets arrested, and he's got to bend over and show his booty hole and make sure he don't have no drugs in it. Next thing you know, he's sitting in a very, very small gin pop. It's very limited. Even when they kept showing the cafeteria scenes, it wasn't a whole lot of people in there. I was like, what kind of jailhouse is this? Is this New York? It'd be jam-packed. It'd be wall to wall, shoulder to shoulder up in the mugs. So it was just odd. But anyway, he sees a guy walk up and hand Two-Bit a shank, and Turtle's walking up behind him, and I mean, you know, it has all of the elements of a foul play. So he makes a quick move and ends up just by the hair of his chinny chin chin getting called in over there with Blanca. And she wants to question him again. Now, he has already made a deal. He's made a deal with the DEA for the twins, the sister and brother team. He's made a deal with them about Ghost or Stacks, something like that. Like he's got 1,000,002 deals on the table. Deals pertaining to his daughter's custody. Deals pertaining to him getting out. Deals pertaining to him getting protection and WITSEC, and just he's had all types of deals. Now we back here again with another deal where he is pretending that he knows what happened to Silver. He don't know Blanca proves herself to be extra super duper shady by basically feeding him the information that he's supposed to write down about what he knows about Terry Silver's death. Now, I'm just trying to figure out at what point are we supposed to um we're supposed to trust the system. I mean, this is so blatant that it's disturbing. It makes Blanca look like super duper bad guy. She came in trying to come on this moral high road, and you turned out to be no better than Stacks. Meanwhile, we see where Two Bit and Turtle are being questioned by Blanca separately. Two Bit holds his ground. He ain't snitching. You know, he's no snitch. He knows he needs to lawyer up. He drops a couple big words and bada bing, bada boom, let me get that lawyer. And Turtle, knowing he's small and for the most part insignificant, um, he gives up Pancho a clue about the death of Pancho in reference to Tommy. Well, when um, when they see where Dre has made a deal and he's getting out, they call Tommy and tell Tommy about it. This is the first time we hear about Grimace's death, Big Grim's death. And Tommy says, I've been trying to find BG. BG's dead. What? Yeah, Dre killed BG. Blowed his head. Why y'all didn't tell me? When have we had time to tell you? You call immediately when you discover his body and be like, oh my gosh, Big Grim is dead. He's been shot in the head and Dre is on the loose. Like, we got to get this guy. Like, why were y'all even back at the Honeycomb hideout chilling and talking, and y'all know that Big Grim laid up somewhere with a hole in his head? Why was y'all even back there casually sitting around when the feds came in? It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, right? So Tommy tell him he got enough going on. He had got somebody that's squealing to the cops about the Poncho situation, and Too Big get to thinking. Later on, when he get up, you know, okay, so let me just say this. Okay, so um, they decide. Dre decides he's gonna go to his mama's house and break into the house. And now he goes first. He goes over to see Tate, which I was just like, what the heck? And Lorenz Tate is just doing this whole overacting. Why would I ever? Excuse me. You don't. I was just like, what is going on? He's just, I don't know. I don't know. It feels like overacting. I don't get it. I mean, he's basically, I don't know. I'm just ready. I'm just ready for that part to be over. I had high hopes for his character, and his character turned out to be kind of mealy mouth and easily manipulated. So anyway, Dre wants him to get him some passports, some clean passports to tag and all of this stuff so that he can get away from Ghost. And in return, Tate wants him to take out Ghost. And Tate basically gives him $100,000 when Dre returns, and gives him $100,000 and wants to give him his passport and his tag and all that stuff. But first, he needs to kill Ghost. And he was like, well, what's going to keep me from taking this money and running? He's like, well, I'm the only one that knows your new name and identity and address and all this stuff. So he's got the baby packed up and the wife packed up, and they're in the car. They're basically pointed towards town, and he's got this $100,000. He says he's got to do something for the money and the paperwork and all that stuff, and she just lets him know that he doesn't have to do all of that. that they can just basically leave. But he's at the end of his rope. He's already broken into his mother's house after asking her. He's left there, and after he leaves Tate, the first time he goes and breaks into his mama's house to get whatever he could find. He got a box of jewelry, and the mama showed up with a gun, and she was like, "You ain't no good. You ain't never been no good." And he's like, "All my life you have told me I'm nothing. You've called me wicked just for doing childish things, and you never ever let it go. You've had your foot on my neck." And under the guise of being religious, being Christian all my life, and I'm sick of it. He walks up on her good enough to take the gun from her and turn it around on her. And then he quotes a scripture about don't judge unless you ready to be judged. Don't condemn unless you ready to be condemned. And don't withhold forgiveness unless or forgiveness will be withheld from you. And basically, shuts his mom down and leaves out with the jewelry box. I mean, she's pretty shaken. So when he gets in the car with the jewelry box and shows it to the girlfriend, she's just like, "What are we gonna do with this? What is we doing?" That's when he got the call from Tate to come get the $100,000 and come get his paperwork and all of that. So he's gotten back in the car with this when she's telling him it doesn't matter if he turned you in for having the paperwork. You gonna say that he gave you the paperwork. So it's all good. Let's just go. Let's not do this thing, and let's just go. And so he was like, "Yeah, you right." They heading out of town. He decided to do a loop-de-loop. Turn back around and go down to Truth. As he goes into Truth, he hears a gunshot. And it frightens him. He turns around and walks off, and he meets Blanca walking up, and she supposedly got this warrant because he has decided to sign and say that he saw the whole killing of Silver. So that's what she's there for. And she's like, "Dre, what are you doing here?" And he panics and punches her, knocks her out, runs and goes and gets in the car and goes and gets gas. Goes to get snacks and gas with his baby and his girl in the car. What? He's in there. You done knocked Blanca out. How long you think she gonna stay out? Why couldn't you got all of that outside of town? Why couldn't you just go ahead and point towards town, out of town, and dealt with getting gas at some other point? He in there getting snacks and toys and sees on the TV that Ghost has been slain. We don't know yet what's going on, really. Goes outside, okay, and they pull up on him like Queen and Slim. They playing all this slow music. We're supposed to feel some type of remorse about the fact that this little girl is watching her daddy being arrested by all these police officers, and the girlfriend is in the car, and she is screaming, "Trey, no, Trey, they gonna take you to jail too, boo." That's what they normally do. Everybody go down, right? The little girl done seen worse. So now he back in jail. Soon as they put him back in Gen Pop, it's right away. Y'all know this stuff don't work like this. It don't. Your getting out don't work like that. It takes forever for them to let you out of jail. I've had to wait on somebody to get out before in Florida, in Georgia, and in Florida, and I'm telling you, they both it's a hell of a wait. Someone said they're gonna let you out that night. It could be 3 in the morning. It could be 4 in the morning. It could be 6 in the morning. It's whenever the judge get you. Whenever you on the lineup, right? But not only was he able to get out in the same day, hours later he is back and he is in his jogging suit. Oh, he back in his orange jumpsuit, right? So immediately he goes and knocks somebody in the face, and they put him in the hole for a week. But Two-Bit and Turtle have soaked some towels. I guess it's supposed to be like Godfather style. They done soaked some towels, child, in gasoline or kerosene or corn liquor or something. And they just shoving the towels shoving the towels through the door. The towels was so unnecessary, really, because they took a squeeze bottle and squeezed gasoline all over Dre. He in there praying. Y'all, okay, don't do this. Don't do this. Wait, don't do this. Wait. Don't do this. Listen. I was like, ooh, that ain't that Nigerian. Yeah. He fit do some old Nigerian bargaining, you know. Oh, they done sprayed him down with whatever the flammable liquid is, and it's the lighter that you open up, you know, a metal. So cliche. They flick it, throw it in there. Set Dre on fire. I mean, we don't even know if Dre is dead or not. We have no idea. Anything's possible nowadays. But listen, it was the softest, most gentle screaming. Being burned alive is, I would say, right up there with one of the most, I don't know, but excruciating things a person could possibly go through. I have heard that the screams are blood curdling, and it was just like, oh. Next morning, Too Big get up. He gonna make a phone call, and I don't know who he called. Maybe this was the call to no, I don't know what it was. He went to make a call or do something. No, that's what it was. He got up and he went next door after they opened their jail cells. Went next door to Turtle's room, and Turtle wasn't there. It was all cleaned out. He was being bailed out, so he knows for sure now that the person that squealed on Tommy was Turtle. Turtle getting ready to sign all his paperwork, join Witsec, and he finna be out. So he think. I mean, Dre was in Witsec like 3 times. Oh, it never works. Never works. So, yeah, I mean, for the most part, that was the episode. In the end, Dre got it. Right before he bit the dust when he first got into jail, his girlfriend came and she said she had to rely on the one person that could help them. Well, you had $100,000, right? Even though Dre didn't do the killing, you could have kept going with the $100,000 and went on and stayed with your sister, right? Like, you could have went ahead and took your baby on to safety. But you had to go get his mama, and then his mama was doing this menacing thing, but I'm going to raise this child right, hopefully better than you, through the glass. I was just like, what? Why is all of this necessary? Why is all this necessary? Why do we even care? We don't care about the details of a situation. Why would we care about the dynamic between the mama, the girlfriend, and Dre? Exactly. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, that's basically the episode. Dre is gone, and you know, we play the very smallest violin that we could possibly find. You know, like I don't have it. I don't have any care to give. I have zero investment in y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, I holla.